Right, here's another one. I've crossed some things out on this piece of paper, as it were, because there's a more advanced way of doing it, but I'm still want to teach you plotting by points, okay? So here's an X and a Y, okay? But notice there's no numbers given to you for X. You've got to pick your own for this one, okay? So you've got to make it up, whatever you want for X, then find out what that corresponding Y value is. Now remember, always the easiest one is X equals 0. Because remember, I'm going to go over here. When X is 0, this has gone. Doesn't matter what's in front of the X. Anything times 0 is 0. I'm left with Y equals 4, okay? So there's a point I can use later, okay? I could plot it now if I wanted to, but I'll just leave it till later. Right, now then, I think Latoya brought this up in class. It's got a fraction in it. Now, if I've got to choose values of X, I don't want to end up with nasty fractions, okay? I want to end up with whole numbers. So if you choose multiples of 5, it will cancel the 5 on the denominator. You can choose a 5 to put in there. You can choose a 10 to put in there. You can choose a negative 5 to put in there, a negative 10 to put in there. Okay, multiples of 5. You might not like negatives, but you might have to use them. Okay, so let's just start with X equals 5. Remember your fraction days. Okay, so over here, negative 3/5 times 5. Put 5 as 5 over 1. They'll cancel. That is negative 3. So Y at the moment equals negative 3. But don't forget, you've still got plus 4. All right? So don't forget the plus 4 bit at the end. All right? So what's that? That's 1, isn't it? That'll give me 1. Okay? Shall I try a 10? Shall I try a negative 5? Who knows? Okay? You choose whatever you want to. If you don't like using negative numbers, right. But remember, oh, wait a minute. I can't use a 10. Look at the scale of this thing. How can I use a 10, X equals 10, when I don't have X equals 10? Right, folks. I'm going to use X equals negative 5. And I think you remember one of the questions that you had on Wednesday, there was one with a 3 and a negative 3. So I'm going to do just a 5 because of the 5 on the denominator. I will also use a negative 5. Let's see what happens when I choose a negative 5 for X. Okay, same thing again. Here we go. Negative 3/5 times X, so times negative 5 over 1. 2 negatives make a positive. These still cancel. That'll give me positive 3, not negative 3. So 3 plus 4 is 7. All right, so make sure that's okay. So when X is negative 5, I get Y equals 7. Okay, so let's plot some of these points now. Okay, let's plot those 3 points. I mean, you could get away with 2, folks. Don't forget, I said to you, 2 points makes a straight line. I'm just doing some more practice. Right, 0 for X, 4 for Y is right there. Remember, that is the Y-intercept. Remember, it crosses the Y-axis at 4. Right, X is 5, Y is 1. That, hopefully, oh, sometimes I can't hit these right. There we go, okay? 5 along the X, 1 up the Y. Lastly, is that right? 5 on the X. Lastly, negative 5 on the X. I've got to go to the left. And 7 up the Y. Now notice my scale here, okay, only up to 6. I'm going to have to guess an extra point, okay? I mean, on the test, it'll be covered correctly. You'll have all the points to count up. But I'm going to go negative 5. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to go 7 up from there. So I know that that one there's 6. I've got to go an extra 1. So I'm going to guess about there. Is that all right, folks? Can you let me off this? Hang on, come on, about there. Okay, so right here. Okay, I've put the point right there. Okay, right, so iPhone, ruler, whatever you want, straight line. Pick a straight line on this piece of software. I'm going to put it right there and go, come on. Please go through it nicely. Okay, that's it. Okay, there's my straight line through those 3 points. Not too bad. I mean, obviously it's hard sometimes with this little iPad and stuff, but there you go. I've just plotted some points but this has a fraction in it. Okay, no big deal. When X is this, what's Y? It's just got a fraction in it. You've got to deal with that. And that's how you graph Y equals negative 3/5 X plus 4.